I would say I'm generally an introvert, except when I'm with my like very close friends, and I don't like things like going out, having dinners with like large amounts of people, going to parties, going to weddings. Like that's not my thing. But recently, I went to a dinner with about 12 people and I had the best time of my life. And I want to tell you about it. So I go to this dinner. We're eating at this Indonesian place in the city, and there was one thing different that I did when I went to this dinner that I hadn't been doing like in all my previous dinners, and I just like did not enjoy them. And that one thing was actually not what I did at the dinner, but it's this habit that I've been developing and doing more so for the past few weeks, which is a daily review. And also in that daily review, I'm trying to capture more story-worthy moments. So what is this? All the jazz. Basically, at the end of every day, I basically ask myself a few questions like, hey, how was the day? Am I happy with the standard that I held myself to today? And the most important question, what is one story-worthy moment throughout the day? And usually a story-worthy moment is basically a moment from the day that if I had to tell a story about, I'd pick that one. And I've been doing that like generally 4 days a week. I'm supposed to do it 5 days a week, but that's not happening. But you know, who cares? So yeah, I've been doing that 4 days a week. And what this enabled me to do is be more present. Oftentimes, when we go to work, we go to school, we have like life is going and life is happening very fast. And when all of this stuff is happening very fast, we don't tend to slow down and actually reflect on what has actually happened. So I reflect at the end of every year, but now I started doing it at the end of every day. And I started to realize that, damn, I'm doing a lot of living. There's a lot of like little moments, like a little moment with my little brother, or a FaceTime call I had with my friend where he made this joke that made me laugh. I, at the end of every single day, reflect on these moments now. And what this did is it allowed me to be more present over the past 2 weeks. And this translated when I went to that dinner at that Indonesian place, I actually like had a lot of stories to tell. You know, we were communicating with people, and generally I would just sit there because I don't really have anything to say, and I'm always like planning of what I have to do and all the things on my to-do list and all the stress and consequences and all this sort of stuff is going in my head. But I was able to be present there at that dinner, and also having been present for the past 2 weeks, when someone asks you like, "Hey, what'd you do on the weekend?" I no longer say, "Oh, like I don't know, man, same old, same old." Like I'm like, no, 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 no. Last weekend I went to the cricket nets with my friends, and we all came along. We hadn't done this for about 2 years, and it basically like rained, and we just like stood there in the rain, and we just all got soaked. That's what I did on the weekend. What did you do on the weekend? It's a very different vibe, and I love this. I love storytelling and communication. So not only did I have stories to tell as a result of being present, but I actually had the energy because I was present on the day to do those stories justice. Like sometimes, if someone asks you, hey, like, what'd you do on the weekend? You can be like, oh yeah, like, went to the cricket nets, we played some cricket and stuff. Yeah. You see like the difference between how I told it the first time and the second time? It's massive. And when you bring that energy in the way I did the first time, it sort of lights up the conversations. So I did this basically throughout the entire dinner. Then we went to go get ice cream, and I had gone on a recent trip with my friends to Sydney, and someone asked me about like something from that trip, and I just went into super storytelling mode. I was super present. I was active listening, and I was so engaged that I actually wasn't doing something that I'm often doing, like that I would usually classify as maybe a trait of an introvert, which is I wasn't thinking about what others were thinking of me. Usually I'm quite quiet in these situations, and oftentimes like it's like, oh, I think like I'm being judged or this or that. But I was just so present and so focused and so like interested in just telling these stories that I knew that I not don't normally know that yeah, I was not thinking about myself at all. I was just thinking about telling these stories in the most engaging way, bringing that energy and matching other people's energy. And I had a great time. So yeah, be present, try to document a story worthy moment every single day, and then practice them in real life conversations. Yeah.